Just have a look at that. Telstra Stadium in Sydney. And we are thinking that it's the biggest crowd that's been attracted to Telstra Stadium for a finals match since we came here in 1999. A sea of blue and gold and blue and white.
That's outside the grand final, of course, Ray. 51,500 or just over for a finals match outside of the decider, and you'd like to think it will get a nudge tonight as we take you back inside the dressing rooms. Again, live. Nervous time for the players. They know that there is no tomorrow without a victory.
Gus went a bit heavier than that. Winner continues, loser leaves the country. I didn't realise that it was a deportation matter.
No, if you've saved enough, it's a good trip away, that's all, but you don't want it for another month.
So Canterbury, the Dogs, they've appeared in grand finals and they've got this record on their own. The only club that's appeared in grand finals through the last 5 decades. As Gus Gould said, they're an arrogant but a proud football club. And Andrew Ryan is about to lead them out. A member of the Eels side in 2001 that went down to Newcastle. They've taken the long way round, Canterbury. First time in a long time that they've had the big guns all together. Mason, O'Mealy, Williams, all in the same unit. They take the familiar jog out onto Telstra, which has been very good to them against Parramatta. They've played here 6 times against the Blue and Golds, and they've beaten them on 5 of the 6 occasions. Sonny Bill, back from suspension, debuted against the Eels at this very ground. Back in the 2001 series, I think it was. And now Parramatta, the Hindmarsh brothers. 81 times they've played together. This could be the last, with Ian bound for retirement, Nathan in 11. One of the Iron Men of rugby league. Friendships will be set aside, obviously. And there are some enormous friendships existing on each side of the halfway line. A loss will see the departure of this talented man, Tamana Tahu, a father at 18. He had a grand final by 20 years of age, and he played for New South Wales and his country by 21. And Daniel Wagon, 3 origins, and a taste of the grand final in those colours in 2001. Came to Parramatta in '99 as a spindly winger from St George. Canterbury will run right, left. Shane Hayne in charge of this final. The winner to advance to take on Melbourne, and Moi Moi comes back to the 20-metre line with a run of gusto. Riddell to the 30-metre line. So on 2 plays, they've got it beyond 30. Canterbury, of course, in that match that Parramatta won here, had a disastrous start. That couldn't be replicated tonight with them kicking off. Tim Smith sending it down the ground. And here's Luke Patton running towards Tamana Tahu, who is vigorous, very aggressive in defence. Luke Patton's got, I think, a dislocated finger, signalling to the medical staff. Rennie Matua. And there's Luke Patton in a lot of pain. Rennie Matua, last dog standing. He's played in all 25 games of the regular season. Mason. 7 metres into Parramatta's area. Telecast coming to you live on the 9 network from the Olympic Stadium. And this is Krisnan Inu.
He's dead.
So away from Tim Smith, who found himself a dummy half.
Let him go, Sonny.
And that is Jared Hayne, who plays the ball on his own 30-metre line. Now Ian Hindmarsh might have caught one across the whiskers for good measure. Kalis to halfway. Inside the 10 is the call against Canterbury. And the first penalty of the game going to Parramatta.
And that coming in the middle of the tackle count is a nice one for the Eels. Got a good first kick away too, did Tim Smith. Shaped the kick to the right-hand corner, then went down the middle of the field, found open space. Brent Sherwin unable to reply at the other end, kicking it straight to Krisnan Inu.
Riddell taking the tap, and Moi to play the ball 25 metres away from the Canterbury line. Riddell again for Kalis again, and Kalis is put down 18 metres out from Canterbury's line. They're running towards the southern end of Telstra Stadium. Here's Finch trying to fend away from O'Mealy. Got it back to Tim Smith. They're 12 metres out from the line. Back to Jared Hayne. And Hayne will play the ball. Held by Corey Hughes. Riddell to the left they go. A little juggle from Finch, and that's Nathan Hindmarsh wide on the left side for Parramatta. Pulled down by Millard. Operating over there. Here's a short ball for Ian Hindmarsh. And tackle 5, a metre from the line. Riddell has a look, and then Finch puts a kick in, and a chance for Inu. It's been battered though by Canterbury's El Masri, and line drop out to restart.
I think most of the Bulldogs camp were believing the kick was going to come from Tim Smith on the right-hand side of the ruck. Parramatta surprised them somewhat by going to the left with that man, Brett Finch, who took them on his first touch. It was a nice kick. El Masri getting there just in front of Inu. Luke Patton still receiving some attention behind the dead ball line now.
So the line dropout from Brent Sherwin goes exactly 50 metres. And Finch gives it back to Moi, who strode through for a try in the opening couple of minutes of their last regular season comp match. Kalis losing the ball. And Luke Patton brings it back to the 30-metre line. Ben Roberts in number 6, a dummy half, a light stepper. Gains about 9 metres out to his own 40-metre line. Then Corey Hughes goes to Sonny Bill Williams. Here's Patton through the gap. Support is there for him. Ryan gets it away. Tonga has got it. Tonga gets it away. Utah scores. First try of the night is blue and whites for Matt Utah.
And their first real use of the football, and it was Sonny Bill Williams up the middle of the ruck. Getting a lovely little offload away. The mistake from Nathan Kalis. Wonderful tackle low from Corey Hughes. He got congratulated for that. And then Williams steps back in, attracts the couple. Luke Patton up the middle. Finds Andrew Ryan. Didn't have the speed to get away from Eric Grove. Willie Tonga went to ground, but offloaded to Utah. Utah scores wide out with first points.
So Utah gets the first points. The sudden death encounter. In fact, it's been a long time since Canterbury were the first try scorers in their, I think in their last 7 games. They've conceded the first try. So Canterbury's Matt Utah scores the try. Canterbury have become notorious for their slow starts, conceding the first try in their last 7 games, and haven't scored a try in the first 10 minutes in any of their last 10 matches. So they've rectified that problem. El Masri from touch.
And he doesn't seem to have gone as far as he normally does, actually in front of the ball. He's modified it a touch, and there's the result.
Straight between. Matt John sidelines.
just on that first try, that's how the Dogs like to play. It's all about power football in big games. Don't go around them, go through them. Sonny Bill Williams short pass to Luke Patton off the hip. And from here, look, we thought for a second, I thought they might have blown it, but they recovered beautifully. Amazing atmosphere down here, fellas. I've got to say, when you're looking for support, the support tonight, the majority is with the Dogs, and they've started beautifully.
Oh, O'Mealy dealt a very big hit by Riddell and Kalis. And of course, there'd be a lot of anger in the tackle from Kalis. Dropping the ball, a brute big hit coming at the 9th minute of this semi-final elimination. Play by Mason now. And then Corey Hughes goes back and away for Rennie Matua. Matua told to play the ball by the referee. Goes back and does exactly what Haynes said, and this is Tonga. He's tackled pretty much on halfway. Tonga and Ryan combining in putting Utah across the line. Both former Parramatta players, 3 of them in the Canterbury side. In fact, Chris Armott the other. And here is Jared Hayne with the ball now. So Parramatta giving a start again, as they did in New Zealand. But they gutsed it out, they gritted it out over there. They're going to have to do it again. Ian Haymarsh tackled 8 metres short of halfway. One-handed pick up Riddell away to Nathan Hindmarsh. And he's ridden down into the ground by Sonny Bill Williams in 11. Riddell gets a quick play of the ball, makes a good scoot away, running over towards the eastern side of the ground. 35 metres out from the line. From Tamana Tahu, they've gone to Tim Smith. There was a late shot on him, only fractionally late, nothing that would be penalised. Utah with a little bit of work to do. Then he spins around, ducks under, and takes it back 25 metres from his own line.
Roberts, I can tell you, Sonny Bill Williams has got a problem in back play. The trainer is now out with him, but he's had his back to the play for the last 45 seconds. Not interested at all, got an arm problem. This is the hit, was his right arm. They didn't run at his left shoulder wisely. That's the one he likes to shoulder charge with. And he comes out of that with his arm dangling.
So Mason taking the ball ahead with Luke Patton at dummy half. So we've had injuries for Patton and now injury for Sonny Bill Williams as Brent Sherwin puts a kick in. It's a lovely kick for weight. And Jared Hayne is confronted by El Masri and Millard, but Hayne did well, got it 9 metres out.
That's a third kick there from Brent Sherwin to keep that in the field. The play as Sonny Bill Williams trots back up into the defensive line now. Eels back on their heels at the moment. Canterbury buoyed by that 6 points scored in the opening minutes.
Let him go, Sonny!
Who tackled by Williams, and you could hear the referee screaming to Williams to let him go. That's a knock on. I know he was facing back towards the dead ball line, but the ball is being propelled towards the opponent's dead ball line.
It was a strange decision for mine to start with Daniel Wagon in the centres, who I think is better served in the forwards these days. And it smacks of a decision that's trying to complement the strength in the opposition. Now, the Bulldogs have been beaten on speed and skill over the last couple of weeks. They've got a young fella, Joel Reddy, there, who fits that mould, and they put an older forward out in the back line as a defensive move. I don't know what that says to your team or to the opposition.
So Canterbury given another excellent opportunity here. They weren't given an opportunity previous. That was just a lovely piece of play by Williams. But now Parramatta's invited them down into the 20-metre area. Parramatta defending grimly, 10 metres out from their own line as O'Mealy plays the ball. Corey Hughes, dummy half. Sherwin, Williams, Mason running at close quarters. That's a good tackle by Brett Finch. The 5/8s did very well. Corey Hughes, Brent Sherwin, cut out ball, Matt Utah, off his left foot, off his right foot. Tackled 3 metres out from the corner post. Corey Hughes scampers into dummy half. Then to Roberts. Now it's away to Matua. Matua 10 metres out, running into Moi, and he's put down on tackle number 5. Roberts. Then to Sherwin. Sherwin gets a kick in. Inu in goal. So it's a free carry back to the 20-metre line for Parramatta.
A lot of pressure put on Brent Sherwin there, just couldn't get the kick right. An easy take as come back for the restart. The report coming up from the sideline is that Sonny Bill Williams has a bruised forearm. He is okay. You need a crowbar to get him out of this one.
He's 10, hold.
Chad Robinson in jumper number 16 and Eric Groth Jr. steamrolling his way out over the 30-metre line. Riddell is busy. He thought he had a marker, not direct. He did. Good play, Riddell. It was Williams he caught.
I've said this several times this year when calling on Parramatta games. They get more penalties coming out of their own end of the field than any team in the competition. And a lot of it is because they look for them. They work for them. They study the opposition. They see who the lazy marker defenders are, who are the ones who like to hold down a little bit in the tackle, and they can force the referee into decisions.
They've got the only 2 awards in this game so far, and the Canterbury do come off a 12-4 deficit last week.
Here's Moi now. Charging up towards the 30-metre line, plays in the centre of the ground. Here's Nathan Kalis, and then Ian Hindmarsh to the 20-metre line. Still down the centre. Ryan was the tackler. Brett Finch turns it back for Tamana Tahu. Tahu goes looking, probing for an opening. Picked up and put away by O'Mealy and Mason. Riddell quickly away to Tim Smith to the 10-metre line. A face ball out to Wagon. Wagon safely contained out there by Tonga. It's come back and away for Smith to go in for Moi. And Moi is taken down by O'Mealy over the top and Williams underneath. 5 gone for Parramatta there. Riddell for Tim Smith's kick. He gets it away. Inu can't get a catch on it. And it's gone into touch over there. There'll be changeover time, 10 out from the Canterbury line.
So that's the other thing about playing Daniel Wagon in the centres. He's not a noted passer of the ball. You've got one of your great attacking strike weapons in Eric Groth Jr. playing on the right wing. He might not touch the ball unless he goes looking for it. They're playing outside Wagon.
So O'Mealy just crashed into the ground by Nathan Hindmarsh coming over the top. Chad Robinson was underneath, and now it's with Roberts, and Roberts comes to Finch, and he's put down by his opposite number with the help of Daniel Wagon. Luke Patton short for Sonny Bill Williams, and Williams is 32 metres away from the Canterbury line. 6-0 in favour of Canterbury. They went in to score at the 8th minute, I think it was. Here's Patton going across, and it's been lost by Canterbury. Tahu couldn't get a catch on it. Knock on Canterbury.
Well, that crowbar's coming out. Sonny Bill Williams again has signalled to the bench. He held the arm up. Larry Britton, the long-time trainer with Canterbury, relaying the message that it appears as though Williams will be leaving the field.
He's had a change of heart. The big boy's going back. I don't think he knows what's wrong with it, and the trainer can only be guided by the player on this. There's Steve Folkes looking pretty cool, but Sonny Bill Williams will stroll back to the scrum. Everyone here in the ground watching one man take up his position.
Cooper Ritzer straight to his feet. He's the player to be thrown into the action if Williams is forced off.
Well, I suppose they can't make the change at the scrum. Maybe he will walk off now. The scrum has been packed.
Tahu away to Inu. Quick hands and quick reaction. 23 metres out from the Canterbury line. Played by Inu. Back to Tahu. Tahu to Nathan Hindmarsh, who goes back towards the eastern touchline before getting it back to Tahu. And Tahu this time is put down by El Masri and Millard. So Tamana plays it, and then it's come from Riddell and gone to Tim Smith, running across the ground and turning it back for Fui Moi. Played back for Riddell again to go to Tim Smith, and they've gone out there to Tahu, who was tackled, lost the ball. El Masri was the tackler.
They're very keen to go down the left-hand side of the field. The last couple of weeks, the Cowboys did very well on Matt Utai. Last week, they targeted El Masri. Parramatta must like what they saw from that vision, although El Masri does a great job up there to go up and help his centre. Hello there, Lukey boy. Parramatta coach Michael Hagan. Cooper Ritzer has come to the sideline with a number, and I think it will be Sonny Bill that comes from the field. In fact, he's over there in the corner post waiting to come off. Ridiculous rule this, you can't make a replacement at the scrum.
Canterbury with Millard, the right centre. There's SBW. He's off the field. We'll get an update as soon as we can for you. After Hugh Hazard has had a look at him, here's Cooper Ritzer with a dummy, and then he tries to go between a narrow opening. He's tackled 30 metres out from his own line. Now for Mark O'Mealy to take it infield to the 40-metre line. Back for Corey Hughes, then Brent Sherwin, and then short for Mason. Mason to halfway. And he's tackled around the legs by Kalis and over the top Ian Hindmarsh. They come to the short side for Roberts, and he punches it with the left foot, and it goes down. It's going too hard, and it'll come back after the 20 for the restart. Matthew John sideline.
Yeah, if you're looking for little mismatches like teams do, I think they're attacking to their left, Parramatta, because Tahu on Millard, I think there's huge opportunity there for Tamana Tahu. They don't want to play too sideways, Parramatta, but if they can get the ball in Tahu's hands on a couple of occasions, I tell you, there's things on all the time.
So this is Eric Groth Jr. And then Riddell goes out to Nathan Kalis, and Kalis runs straight over the top of Kuparitzis. Eventually Mason takes him, and then Riddell finds Robinson. Robinson slammed into the ground by O'Mealy over the top of Ryan. Riddell, neat a dummy half. Moy strong with these runs up to the 40-metre line.
That's great work by the Parramatta forwards. They're playing okay.
Here's Riddell again, thinks he sees a gap, gets it back when tackled. Tim Smith is with it. Now the long cutout ball looking for Groth, and Groth is with it. But the ball took a long time to reach him. Then Tim Smith, now Brett Finch. Finch gets it away, Riddell is with it. Not knowing exactly what to do, takes a couple of defenders, gives it to Ian Hindmarsh. He fends away from one, he puts a kick in. It's going to be taken by Canterbury, by El Masri, and he runs it dead.
That's wonderful play from Ian Hindmarsh. The vision from the back row to kick it through, realising the Canterbury defence was all up. Did well to beat a tackle there of O'Mealy, and another. Left footer through. Back into the NRL after a year overseas. Retires at the end of this season.
And Sonny Bill Williams back in the rooms, and striped suit. That is Dr. Hugh Hazard, the man with so much experience in charge of Canterbury and Australia.
He can fix everything, Hugh Hazard, except broken bones. Let's hope that's not the problem there.
Tim Smith marking the ball. It wasn't one of the big dropouts of all time. Moy, he's working tirelessly. Moy, he's really made a lot of runs, a lot of carries. Here's Robinson.
He might be just running out of a little bit of puff now. The replacement on for him soon is Nathan Kalis. He's still going strongly, almost to the 10.
Met by Matua and Kuparitzis. To the left they go. Riddell, Finch inside. Tahu thinks he sees a little opening, but it's closed. Kuparitzis and Ryan. And Tahu plays it in front of the southern uprights, 10 metres away. Tim Smith floats it back into the middle where Brett Finch is there. Got a ball away. Riddell is with it. Riddell put a kick in. It's a try for Parramatta. It's Riddell's try. It's Riddell's try. Well, he deserved it. He's been in everything. He has been in just about everything.
Yeah, very skillful work from Mark Riddell. I like the Parramatta game when it's based on what Riddell does out of dummy half, his enthusiasm, his strength, and this time his vision. That's a fantastic offload. Mark Riddell kicks it. Not cleaned up by the Dogs. He follows up the score.
Piggy Riddell. He had been, I think I used the word smart from dummy half. Clever is probably a better word to use, but he's been so busy, so brilliant. And he gets the try that he richly deserves at the 19th minute. So Krishnan Inu will attempt conversion from a relatively simple position. Try scorer for Parramatta as we welcome you back live to Nine's Rugby League coverage of the finals exclusive. Riddell the try scorer, Anu attempting to convert from about 10 metres off centre. In front of a crowd of around 53,000 we fancy.
And he likes it. I was wondering if he thought this one would be humorous. He does, he likes it. 2 from 2 last week. It's the first one in comfortable position this week.
Well, from the early part of play, it's the offloads that are killing the Bulldogs. Parramatta quite willing to unload the ball in the centre of the field, and they're just chewing up this defence. This is an inside pass from Smith, but the offload out the back from Finch is the one that creates the second phase play, and great instinct there from Riddell. Now, he could have thought about a number of things, but he didn't think about anything but putting the ball along the ground because he had the Bulldogs defence standing still and up, rewarded with a try. And Mooley back to the bench. We're back to square one, Rabbits.
Yes, you can rub everything out. One cancels the other. And Tamana comes out to be met by the 15 for Canterbury, Chris Ahmed.
And that little break gives this man, Moi, a chance for another couple of runs. And it helps as well, just to keep a little bit of sting out there before he comes to the sideline. Cordova will be on shortly.
Ian Hindmarsh has been good in the game so far. He's making the best of it. He doesn't want retirement tonight. Here's his brother Nathan, their dad, probably at the ground, but if he's not, we're thinking of you, watching these two youngsters go around again tonight. Here's Tamana Tahu. Sheridan dragging around his legs. And then Tim Smith keeps it relatively low. It's going down to Utai, who gets a clean bounce and picks it up and comes back to Brett Finch and Daniel Wagon and Chad Robinson. He's on the 20-metre line. Man of the match tonight, of course. The Bundaberg run, man of the match. Your chance to win $1,000. Just correctly choose who will be the Bundaberg man of the match, and you enter by phoning or SMSing those numbers on the bottom of your screen. The competition closes at 9:20 with the winner announced on next Thursday's footy show. With Roberts getting a fend on and the ball away. Ryan, here comes Canterbury again. He kicks ahead. Utah's after it. It's too deep.
They had too much support. And the Bulldogs, they bombed a couple of these last week against the Cowboys. You would have thought it was the only thing they practiced all week. Again, they burst into the backfield. Support on the inside with Patton. Tonga on the left. He doesn't know what to do, Andy Ryan. He ends up kicking it and puts it out the back. Try gone begging. Poor execution in the other side of the line. Steve Folks shakes his head.
Give some credit as well to Parramatta defence there. Growth loomed up. That took away the opportunity for Ryan to come this way with a pass. And then the Parramatta defence on the other side got the support play quicklly. They handled it pretty well, especially this man backing off. It may have been Hayne backing off.
Moi back to the bench. And Joel Reddy is out there. The son of the St George legend Rod, who is a member of the coaching staff at Parramatta these days. And that is Robinson playing the ball. And it's gone away for Tim Smith to reef it down towards El Masri. And the Parramatta making the tackle on the return, the kick return, 28 metres out from the Canterbury line. So Millard drops into first receiver. And he's put down on the 30-metre point. 6 points all the score. And 23 and a half minutes gone in the game. This is Mason on his own 40-metre line. Hughes a dummy half again, and then a good strong run by Chris Ahmed. To the halfway line again. Hindmarsh was around the legs, Kalis over the top. With Robinson, and then the kick from Roberts. It's gone down, one bounce to Hayne. And Hayne coming out to the 10. 15 out from his own line.
It was a sharp change of pace, wasn't it? He was nearly through there.
Inu getting around them and getting it away for Tahu. Tahu beautifully grasped over there by Millard, the centre. Now Inu swerving and dodging. And a penalty goes against Canterbury. They hung in there too long.
Yeah, they're in all sorts of trouble here, the Bulldogs. I think that missed opportunity is playing on their minds, and now Parramatta are stretching them. This is where Parramatta need to play them. With their speed out wide, that's the huge advantage that they have. And the Dogs here slowing down to play the ball, knowing full well that a quick play the ball would have got them in all sorts of trouble. El Masri on Inu. Here come the Eels.
Parramatta's number 15, Josh Cordova, is out there now. Riddell for Robinson, is picked up and driven by Mason. Finch gets it on to Hayne. And Hayne tackled by Matua, who's come out clutching at a finger injury. And again it's Cordova. Cordova in 15, Robinson in 16. Riddell to Tim Smith, and it bounced forward off Parramatta. Scrum 10 metres out.
I blame the ball runner here rather than the man who passed the ball. I think he crowded him. I think Tim Smith would have liked a little more time. Mason with the big one, brute big hit. But again, he got the ball away. It's no good having the big hits. if they're going to promote the ball. And Tim Smith had some options here, but Hindmarsh just ran onto it too early, and Smith couldn't get to play with any time on his hands. And I think it was Hindmarsh's problem more than the halfback.
Bulldogs then with Millard.
Move, Nathan!
15 metres out from the Canterbury line. Andrew Ryan, who's been in one trial and probably messing up a second for Canterbury. Sherwin to Cooper-Ritzis. Matty Johns on Sonny Bill Williams.
Yeah, Sonny Bill, look, at the moment in the sheds, they're saying it's a bad cork to the forearm. What's actually happened? He can't grip the football. They're trying to get a bit of movement into his hands. If they can do that, he'll be back out there. But at the moment, it doesn't look like a break. Hopefully, he'll be back.
That was the incident where he did the injury. Matua is wrestled down 40 metres away from the Parramatta line. He wanted a penalty, so did Mason. Millard puts a kick in, came off a Parramatta leg, came back to a Parramatta player. It's Riddell again. Now for Nathan Hindmarsh, and they're 31 metres out from the line.
I've got to say, the Bulldogs' fifth tackle options have been pretty ordinary tonight. There was one good kick down into the corner from Sherwin, but the rest of it's been pretty haphazard, and no pressure on the Parramatta back three whatsoever.
Play by Cordoba, Riddell, Ian Hindmarsh. Peter Sterling.
Well, if Canterbury have had trouble stopping the offloading ability of Parramatta, it's just got a little bit worse for them with Felipe Mateo out there. Play the ball, infringement there from Ian Hindmarsh. He's blown up to Lux, all to no avail. And PJ Marsh also about to be injected into the game. It's actually come off the boot of Chris Armott.
And that's the reason Ian Hindmarsh was going off. He got blamed for it by the referee, but in fact it was the boot, it appeared, of Chris Armott that deflected the ball forward. Mateo is into the game. Felipe Mateo at the back of the scrum. Roberts for Willie Tonga, and Tonga, he beat Reddy, and Groth made the tackle. Just a couple of metres on Parramatta's side of halfway. Utai chased and held by Groth, and Wagon comes in to lend an assist. Perry's into the game. Ryan gets the ball on to Armott, and Armott will play the ball centre ground 35 out from the northern end. Canterbury running towards in the first half, and then Mason's pass to Patton look forward. He'll play an advantage, and it's Hindmarsh who takes the advantage, gets it on to Jared Hayne. Hayne going down, reversing, gets outside 40, gets over halfway. That's a brilliant effort by Hayne, picked up by Mateo. Hayne is down in back play. Mateo looking to get another phase going. He does that. Finch loses the ball. Roberts is with it for Canterbury. Roberts tackled by Mateo. Hayne got some attention in back play. He's okay. 33 metres out from Canterbury's own line. 6 points all. Almost 30 minutes gone. And here's Andrew Ryan. Perry on, of course, for Corey Hughes. And referee Shane Hayne is saying he lost it.
Why is that not play on then, if he loses the ball? He's being tackled, he loses the ball, it comes out. Parramatta pick it up and run away. I don't know.
Finch it is, who's going wide this time. Out to Tahu, who's looked threatening, but there's been some glorious tackles ending his aspirations. That was Matua on him that time. Here he is again. He's really playing. He's playing out of his skin tonight, Tahu. The cards haven't fallen the way he would like them at the moment. Penalty goes Parramatta's way, 31 metres out from the line.
Well, it's an intelligent use of Tamana Tahu. 2 wide passes. He's nice and deep, and he's catching the football with 8 or 10 metres to his defender. And then his remarkable evasive ability can come to the fore.
They smell blood here, Parramatta. They are right on top at the moment. Points here could mean anything to them.
Here's Cordoba getting it to within 3 metres of the line. Plays it for PJ Marsh. He let Mateo run a decoy. Then it's with Finch. And Finch hangs on this time. 7 metres out from the line. Little punctuation mark on the attack. PJ Marsh, then Tim Smith, then to Cordoba again. And Cordoba is 9 out, wrestled down by Adam Perry. Marsh comes short to Mateo. Mateo looking to unload, but then he's banged down. Heavy tackle by Ryan and Mason. Marsh again. PJ comes back short for Wagon. A metre away on tackle 5. Tackler was Mason. Did he lose the ball, Wagon? Yes, he did.
Well, it was an awful end to what was a poor set of 6 from Parramatta. After a short pass off the shoulder, which looked dangerous from Marsh, there was very little in that. And at the end of it, Mason might have had his arm there, but not great ball security by the man carrying it in Wagon.
Shows you how desperate the Dogs are, though, aren't they? That was 5th tackle. That could have been deadly for the Bulldogs. And I agree, that was an awful set of 6 from Parramatta. They had the Dogs at their mercy there. They might rue that.
There's Luke Patton, injured very early in the game. Prior to the first points being posted by this fellow, Utai. That try came at the 5th minute. There's a lost ball in there, so Canterbury are sending Parramatta invitations. Utai losing the ball. Steve Folkes a little bit uncomfortable at the moment.
He's sitting up there and he's saying, I'm sure we spoke about ball control at training this week. Did we speak about ball control at training this week? I'm sure we did. I'm sure we talked about hold on to the ball.
He won't be happy with the penalty count.
Oh, well, 4-0.
Brett Finch taken by Willie Tonga. Now Joel Reddy, and Reddy takes it up to the 20-metre line. He'd be thinking about ball security, Joel Reddy, just to get those little bit of nerves away. A couple of safe carries is what he needs. Cordoba's with the ball, plays at 12 out. Marsh, has he got himself a penalty, or has he got himself near the try line? It's the latter. I thought he might have got a marker that wasn't direct. Play by PJ. Here's Finch with a dive for the line. And Finch is forced over the line. He's hanging there like the Leaning Tower. Now he's forced back. 5 gone. Marsh, wide. Smith, crabbing, looking, finding Hayne, getting it back. It's come across from Tim Smith to Mateo. Mateo, he dances across the Wagon. Wagon onto a Reddy. Gross will score. Eric Gross scores for Parramatta. That pleases the coach. It pleases the blue and gold army. And the flags are flying.
And that was good composure. They keep the ball alive. Hayne to Smith. Mateo, he sums up the situation, decides not to kick, sees that there's an opportunity out wide. Quick hands, ready. Utai tried to fake that he was going to stay out, and then came in, and Growth gets over out wide.
Growth Jr. scores another important try for Parramatta, for the family, against the Dogs. What year was it? 83, was it? Pete, you'd know. Eric with that try in the, preliminary final. He left one, he left two, he pushed another, he shoved another, trod on somebody else.
And he could have thrown it to me right at the death. And
you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, all the way.
So Eric Growth Jr. scores for Parramatta. And 10 points to 6 becomes the new look of the scoreboard. And Chrisman Inu from 25 out on the touchline.
Well, I think very important for Parramatta that they got something out of the attacking raids. Mistakes down there from Utai, and Andrew Ryan gave them perfect opportunity. Could have really dented their confidence if they hadn't have got something out of the last 5 minutes. Inu a chance to extend it to a converted try. We are only just under 5 minutes out from half-time.
Just repeating, Canterbury without Williams at the moment. May not be back. Oh, Inu, well, he's put a fade on it. He put a fade on it. That's incredible.
He didn't like it when he left the boot.
I was about to say, no, he's hooked it across the face, and he's put that little power fade on it.
What a handicap you're playing off. He knew what he was doing. Watch the bad decision here by Matt Utai. They should be playing to him all the time. He goes up, he's got 2-on-1, he'll do the little shimmy, little bit of a fake. What's he doing out there? This is sudden death football. Loser leaves the country. You've got to trust your teammates. You've got to make good decisions under pressure. That's showboating.
He tried to sell it, he was going out to growth so that Reddy would hold on to the football. Didn't work.
Instead of trying to sell it, that's where he should have been. He had defence coming across from the inside. And I'm glad young Reddy got on to the centres in time to throw that pass. Otherwise, Growth may not have touched the ball.
Yes, you made it quite apparent that you thought it was the wrong play putting Wagon out there in the first place. Here's Mateo. Are you on a commission with Qantas or something? Here's Marsh with a run down to the 40-metre line. Loser leaves the country. Now Mateo to the halfway line. And he's met by Cooper-Ritzis. Thought about a little flick back out with that right hand before the ball is played. It's gone to Tim Smith. Parramatta on the attack. And here's Patton on the kick return. Just inside the 20-metre line.
Now, when these sides met in the first meeting this season, Parramatta led fairly well in all departments. But the Bulldogs scored a try right on half-time with a kick down to the corner. Parramatta need to make sure that they maintain this lead at half-time. They should have a lead with the way that we've seen this first 40 minutes unfold.
Cooper-Ritzis will play the ball 5 metres from halfway. Perry is the runner and decides to take them on. And he's pulled down eventually by Felipe Mateo and also Nathan Kalis. Here's Ben Roberts putting a kick in that is bouncing very friendly for Jared Hayne.
Well, that's terrible. And they keep doing it. They just dribble the ball in behind the line. Hayne picks it up and runs it back. They're never going to get a drop ball out of them unless they put it in the air and put some pressure on them.
Here's Eric Growth Jr. really manhandling the defenders before consenting to play the football. This is Cordoba line.
I tell you, from here, the Dogs forwards are really labouring. They've built their game beautifully, Parramatta. Kept the ball in the middle third of the football field, as we're seeing at the moment. Short passing, and they're just running them ragged. They've built the game fantastic fashion.
Tim Smith played the ball. Running with it is Tamana Tahu, and Tahu comes back towards the middle. Thought about a pass. Tackled by Andrew Ryan. Played back to PJ Marsh. Gone to Tim Smith, right foot. Down into the corner it goes. Down into the in goal, I should say. Stopping, but it'll find the line. So 20-metre restart for the Dogs. Walking slowly back behind the 20-metre line.
Well, they're walking everywhere. They're even walking in defence. There's no energy from them whatsoever. This skill factor in the Parramatta side has run them ragged. And crikey, I know we've got a long way to go. But the Eels will have to be very disappointing to lose from here.
Growth is fired right up. He is fired right up, Eric. He just took his opposite, Matt Utai, and he looked angry as he belted him down into the ground. This is Chris Armott with the ball, the Parramatta bench. And a tremendous contribution by Riddell, sitting next to Moi Ditto. Lost ball, Canterbury's O'Mealy. Kalis is with it on the 30-metre line. So Parramatta with Nathan Hindmarsh now. Taken by Perry in 14, but that was after O'Mealy. Look at Marsh, no markers, no sign of markers. Then he runs the 10 and the defence line doesn't come up. He goes to them.
Well, they're toying with them. The Bulldogs are on the ropes here, should get the standing 8 count. They can't lift their legs.
Wagon then down the right side for Parramatta. 39 metres out from the Canterbury line, but half-time 15 seconds away. Mercifully, it would seem, for Canterbury. Cordoba to the 30-metre line. He will play the ball, tackled by Ryan and O'Mealy. Marsh goes back to Finch, and he had a go at field goal, and he's hurt himself. Half-time hooter sounds. The ball was Matua, and Red Finch is okay. So this is what happened.
He was seen in State of Origin. Heroics on that night. Andrew Ryan came across, realised that the point might have been in the offering. Finch limps off. His side well placed.
So stay with us. Coming after the break, Matthew Johns, Ben Eichen will bring you Holden halftime, featuring the Bundy big plays along with all the action from the first half. All this coming to you live on the home of the NRL Finals football, right here on Channel 9. Back at Telstra Stadium live on the Channel 9 coverage the start of sudden death football through the Telstra Premiership final season, and Parramatta with this lead of 12 points to 6. But you saw it with your own eyes. Canterbury was struggling, trying to stay with Parramatta for the back half of the opening stanza. And 12-6 is probably a kind scoreline, really, to the Canterbury side, who, when they have trailed at half-time, they've came back to win 3 from 13. So it's not necessarily a glowing report on that facet of their game. They leave the rooms. Of course, Matt Johns will keep us abreast of Sonny Bill Williams and his health. And will he be back and all the rest of it? I'm just walking down the tunnel with you and Andrew Ryan. Immediately behind him, and of course, Bulldog supporters collectively and anxiously hoping that the big fella SBW will be among them. If not now, sometime during the second half. Wonderful crowd here tonight. Telstra Stadium, of course, a capacity of around about 80,000, the new configuration. Nathan Kalis taking the Eels out. And David Middleton, our guru, measuring crowds and measuring everything, as a matter of fact. He thinks there's about 52,000 people.
Be interesting to see how Parramatta handle the early part of this second half. They got the Dogs very, very tight at the back end of that first half. But they started the first half with good control and good kicking game, and then eventually wore them down. And I think they've got to go through that process again. The thing that really tore the Bulldogs apart was the amount of offloads. Players going to the line, being tackled, but then getting the ball away. That just chewed up defenders and made some other players come in to try and finish your work. When you make a tackle, you've got to finish it there. Now someone else has got to come and finish the job that you started. And it really produced some gaps around the middle of the field here for the Parramatta side. The outside backs started to come in field, feeding off their forwards who were getting one-arm offloads. And the Bulldogs' defence just got tired. Now that's where the Parramatta have got to go back to the start. Start again at the beginning to wear this dog side down, and then they'll have their own way with them at the back end of the game, Rabbits.
Get the impression that it was a half-time that Parramatta didn't really need. Things were going swimmingly for them as Chris Armott brings the ball back to be met by 3 of the Parramatta defenders. And Armott gets it 12 metres back into the field of play. Canterbury running the ball out through O'Mealy now to the 20-metre line. Parramatta joined the league in 1947. They waited a long, long time, 34 years before winning their premiership in 81. And they haven't been doing the lap of honour for quite some time, since 1986, as a matter of fact. As O'Mealy plays the ball on the 40-metre line, it's gone on to Sherwin, and Sherwin gets it away to Rennie Matua, almost on the halfway line. So Sherwin, they go immediately out to the second receiver, Roberts, who puts the kick in. And it's down to Growth, who scored a strong try and played well in that first half. Here's Inu getting the ball from Growth, and then he's pulled down by Matua, not held, has another go. And it's left this time to Millard to pull him down with some help from El Masri. Tim Smith to Growth again, and Growth is up to the halfway line. He's about 5 metres in from the western touchline. Parramatta running towards the north in the second half, and here's Nathan Hindmarsh with a surge. He will play the ball 7 metres away, or 7 metres into Canterbury's territory. Now to Nathan Kalis, and Kalis 35 metres out from the line. Here is Mateo. Mateo with that traditional little swerve before he comes to the defence, and the ball goes to ground. Knock on ruled by Hayne.
Just pushing it a little bit too much there for Ludi Mateo. It was an uninspiring set of 6 before that from Canterbury, and the kick straight down the throat of Eric Growth, who eventually linked up with Krishnan Anu, and they almost got back to where Ben Roberts kicked the football from. Pretty easy ground after that, but Mateo looking for an impossible pass as Willie Tonga takes it just short of the 30.
Sherwin then feeding the ball away to the short side. And Andrew Ryan will play it there on the 40-metre line. Perry giving it to O'Mealy. O'Mealy met over there by PJ Marsh and Daniel Wagon with some help as well from Josh Cordoba. To the halfway, Perry, then to Sherwin, inside ball, Patton. Marsh saw him coming, knocked him over in the defence, and Patton plays the ball. Perry to Roberts, a running Ben Roberts at full speed, hits the ball and takes it down to the 30-metre line where he's tackled by Tim Smith. And now it's gone away back towards the centre of the ground through two sets of hands, and Armit gets it on. O'Mealy swings it away. It's out to Willie Tonga. Tonga comes down towards Joel Reddy, gets the ball away to Utai. And that's a changeover against Canterbury.
And again, Parramatta forced to play well defensively. After they rushed up on the kicker and opened up an opportunity out wide, they backed off. All of a sudden, what was unfolding didn't count against them as Nathan Kalis takes it outside the 20.
Kalis playing the ball for PJ Marsh to serve it up for Josh Cordoba.
All the way, ready.
And Cordoba struggling to play the ball in. Now it's with Mateo, and there's that little skip, that little dance that he does, and here's Marsh. And then 9 metres from halfway on tackle 4, Tim Smith finds himself at dummy half. It's come to Cordoba. Cordoba tries to cut through the markers, held down by Perry as long as he could. Marsh gets it away. Smith puts it on the boot. It goes low and bounces up favourably for El Masri, who's out 25 from his own line. Matthew John sideline.
News how the dog sheds at half-time isn't good, Rabs. They now believe Sonny Bill Williams may have a fracture in his forearm. Look, they haven't ruled him out returning, but, gee, it looks unlikely.
Millard, meantime, played the ball. Patton swings it back on the inside for Ryan, and Ryan is 7 or 8 metres on his own side of the halfway. Andrew losing the ball. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. I think he got a call. He got a call from a touch judge, a fancy.
Well, that's a bonus for the Dogs. And one thing I can't understand about their game at the moment is that Willie Mason was off for about the last 7 or 8 minutes of the first half, and he hasn't returned this so far in the second half. He's their main man now that Sonny Bill Williams is out of action. There's the penalty. The Dogs, they need something to happen. They're all over the shop at the moment.
Chris Armit with the ball. Jumping under 15. And here is O'Mealy with a surge on the edge of the ruck. Kuparetzis beaten to the punch by Hindmarsh. Gets it away to Tim Smith. Then on to Tahu. Then on to Inu. Inu's outside the 40-metre line. He's lost the ball. Kuparetzis returns serve for Canterbury. Luke Patton. Lofted and long. Sherwin to go. Rifling it to Roberts. Roberts away to Tonga. Is over there to cover ground and make the tackle. Penalty to Canterbury.
Well, Brett Vince, he was claiming that on this side of the field the ball was knocked out by a Canterbury player and cleaned up by another Canterbury player in offside position. For that penalty, he believes that a Canterbury player pushed him back into the play the ball area. There he is making the tackle. He's saying the reason he ended up there was because Ben Roberts pushed him, but he was certainly looking to slow the play the ball down.
Canterbury then with a good chance to come back to level. They're 5 metres away from the line, and they line them up out on the right. Sherwin, he's over. Can he get it down? Referee right on top of it. Goes to the video ref.
He's held up. He's held up and he's lost the football at the end of this. When a player gets up with the football, from his frantic motion, you can tell that he hasn't got the football down once he's over the line.
He's not high-fiving, is he?
Here comes our first replay, all thanks to Army Norman.
Straightens up off the right foot between Hindmarsh and Mateo. Goes over, doesn't get the football down. And at the end of it, he's stripped by Jared Hayne.
Gee, it's hard to score a try these days. The players are absolutely brilliant in their awareness of where the ball is. They've got arms under the ball and then players diving from behind to get another arm under where the ball could go. Then there's the wrestle and the strip. How often do we see it? And you can tell Sherwin wasn't confident. They've still got tackles left in this set of 6. That's a golden opportunity gone begging.
And so we played the ball 10 metres out, second tackle. Brent can see the funny side of things.
So is it going to
Essentially,
Rule play the ball, or could he possibly give a penalty?
it should be play the ball. There was that much time elapsed.
Play the ball.
So we've got 2 video refs up there tonight. We've got Bill Harrigan and Chris Ward, so they're doing a little bit of rock, paper, scissors. Just to, well, they merely dropped that ball in the play the ball previous.
And here's Chris Armott, 2 metres away from the line. Canterbury on 3. Perry goes behind a couple. It goes wide out to Sherwin. Then Ryan on a run around is Roberts, and then Canterbury's Tonga is pulled down. 9 metres out. Reddy was the tackler with Growth. Now it's back for the 12. That's Ryan, and Ryan up on tackle 5 is 3 metres from the line. Perry is back. They're 15 away. Sherwin long. Out it comes to Millard. Millard pops the pass to El-Masri. He puts a kick in. It's a wonderful kick, but it's come down with Parramatta. Flying above them there was Mateo. And the penalty against Canterbury inside the 10, or was it for Marcus not direct?
Well, I think he said with inside the 10. But the only man onside was the man who made the tackle. No one else came into the play.
Tremendous take by Felipe Mateo.
He hadn't even set the 10-metre line there, the referee. The marker made the tackle, yet they got a penalty.
Parramatta meet the attacking challenge of Canterbury. And Sonny Bill Williams with that right arm now heavily bandaged. And looking as though it's got the protector on it as well. Jacket's going on.
He's rugging up. Mason is to his feet. He'll be out there shortly.
Halfway line then, there's Willie waiting to come on. Marsh thought about giving it to Nathan Hindmarsh. Then takes the tackle. He's doing some damage out there, PJ, with his dummy half running. Particularly, he's been able to find no markers. And he's been able to make a lot of inroads. Brought on by fatigue mainly. Here's Nathan playing the ball, and then Tim Smith's kick is not good. It's gone backwards, if anything. And it's come down to Joel Reddy, and they'll try and clamp the ball against him, and that's turnover. Good defence, Canterbury. Andrew Ryan in the main.
That's not the first time Tim Smith has tried to kick the football across for outside chases. Hasn't worked. Needs to modify now and get the football down towards the opponent's try line. Get them working off their own line. Patton out of dummy half. Goes the short side, claimed by Reddy.
5-2 the penalty count in favour of the Eels as the Dogs look to come back, and they get the ball back towards centre ground just outside the 30-metre point. Ball being played there by Matua. Perry swings it away. O'Mealy goes behind Kuparitzis. It goes on to Sherwin. Throws a dummy to Millard, but he wasn't having any part of the dummy. The Parramatta 4, Tahu wraps him up. El-Masri swings it away. Kuparitzis runs behind O'Mealy. Does he? No. Not when you're looking at it from where Hayne was. Then it's Perry. Now it's Roberts. He gets rid of Finch, and Finch comes in again. Now they all go in. 3 of them. Marsh, Cordova and Finch, and here's Sherwin. Sherwin delivers a kick that'll be a mile too big.
It's an awful kick. It's an awful kick. I reckon if we got a package done of the Bulldogs' 5th tackle options tonight, it would be like a horror movie. He came tearing around the blind side. He's got 5 players on the outside. Goes for a left foot trick kick back towards the post and gives the opposition a 20-metre tap. What gets into their brains?
Moy is back for his second session. He's 35 away from his own line, running down the middle of the park is Mateo now, and met by Kuparitzis. Look at that offload from Mateo. Another phase presented. Tim Smith, Krishnan Inu. Ball goes to ground. Bounces good for Nathan Hindmarsh. Touch, was it? Did he restart it? No, I don't think so.
Just a knockback row or pass back.
So it's 2 metres into Canterbury's area. Played by Hindmarsh. Tim Smith, Nathan Kalis. Kalis running hard and strong at Canterbury's defence. And he's put down by Kuparitzis and Perry just inside the 40-metre line. Here is Moy again! 5 tackles gone.
He's hurt Mature on the way through too. Last tackle. Brett Finch cleans it up, gets the football now. Field goal attempt, and he's hit it well.
Oh, he
has hit it well. He's got it. Oh, what a freak of a goal kicker. A drop goal exponent extraordinaire is Brett Finch. From Origin to a preliminary final or semi-final, he has done it again.
Well, he tried one in the last play of the first half. But this, after the pass went astray, he's hit it sweetly under pressure. Chris Almond coming through, but that's over the black dot.
Oh, what a kick. What a kick. What's going through his head as the ball's bobbling in front of him, and he's thinking, I've got to pick this up, they're coming at me, I've got to pick it up, I've got to pick it up. Oh, now that I got it, I'll just kick a field goal.
Just incredible stuff from Brett Finch. Now, Kalis, you know, I think I've seen an inspiration come for Nathan Kalis when he lost that ball in the first half and Canterbury scored at the 5th minute. He'd be absolutely bashing himself up, the skipper, but gee, he's lifted since and he's done some tremendous things for Parramatta.
Ray, he's been absolutely superb tonight. He's a fine leader. In fact, he's a former Kiwi captain, of course. Leads the tackle count. He's 7 in front of Nathan Hindmarsh. He's working the joint down as Hayne comes up from fullback to get involved. The crowd's lifting them as well. Starting to find voice, the Parramatta fans.
Hayne played the ball and then appeal to the referee. Tim Smith goes through an opening. Gets it away to Nathan Kalis. Nathan Hindmarsh. Now it was knocked down by Canterbury in attempting the tackle. He's restarted the tackle count. Tahu now. Tahu down to the 40-metre line is tackled. And tackled by Daryl Miller. Tim Smith for Christman Inu. Came to Sherwin, put a fend on Sherwin. No big pardons there.
Well, these young Parramatta backs are showing no fear of the Canterbury forwards, are they?
Now for Hindmarsh. Nathan to the 30-metre line. Marsh towards centre ground. Brett Finch. Then Mateo just lofts it up there for Finch to come around him. And Robinson is back on. Robinson back on in 16. They go short side for Mateo. Mateo, he got a ball away to Reddy. And Joel Reddy will play the ball. 8 metres out from the corner post. Straddled over him is Utah. Ball comes away from Mateo to Finch. They're going long and lofted. Now it's away for Tim Smith, and he's crunched into the ground by Willie Mason. 5 gone for Parramatta now. And it comes from PJ. It's gone to Brett Finch. He puts a kick up as Mason tackles it. They've gone over there towards Utah, who came down in the field of play, and then he's forced. We will take a break. Be back in a moment. Change of mind with the officials in charge of this game. Just there, 20-metre restart, not line dropout. And we're back live at Telstra Stadium watching Parramatta play Canterbury, and Parramatta 13, Canterbury 6. And it's come through a couple of sets of hands. Kuparitsis and O'Mealy finding Sherwin, who is playing the ball on the 40-metre line. Perry, a dummy half to Roberts. And it came down. It's a charge down. Moi, will he pick it up? Yes, he does, cleanly. And Patton dives on the front row forward. That's Canterbury coming back onside. It'll be a penalty. Penalty to Parramatta.
And yet another poor kick option here from the Bulldogs. Their kicking game has been absolutely appalling. Rennie Matua on the sideline. And Parramatta will come deep down into Bulldog territory on the attack. 25 minutes to go, 7 in front on the scoreboard. There's a sense of timing about this for the Eels. They should put a nail in the coffin here.
They got cleaned up when Moi came through on an earlier charge, Matua.
PJ Marsh taking the tap. Moi. Brutal performance. Brilliant. Now, Ian Hindmarsh taking ground away from Canterbury again. Playing the ball 9 metres out in front of the uprights. Here is Tim Smith in a short ball for Riddell, who cut them open a couple of times, several times in his first session. Playing the ball, PJ Marsh, and away to the right for Ian Hindmarsh. And Ian to play the ball 3 metres out from the line. Canterbury under pressure. Marsh, long way it goes to Finch, and Finch gets it on to Cordoba, is it? In fact, it's Chad Robinson. Now it's come from Riddell. This is Finch. Puts a little kick in. Riddell went through looking to get a catch on it. Marked by Sherwin. And he's come up a little bit dusty, Sherwin. Luke Patton, there's Brent. So this is Miller stepping his way out to the 25-metre point. Down the middle of the ground, Corey Hughes is back with us again. Mark O'Mealy, he's got an arm wrapped around his throat. Thought he might have got a penalty, 32 metres out from the line. Hughes finding Utai going in to help the forwards, and Utai was able to get a ball away. Ryan gets it on, and here's Tonga close to the sideline. Tackled by Growth, who's been good in defence down that side. A lot of teams have gone towards Growth quite on intention and come up with dividends. Here's Hayne beating Sherwin, beating another. That's Hickey. Still going as Hayne loses the ball, picked up by Patton for Canterbury, and then it's raked out by the player on the ground. It's Jared Hayne.
Well, now Parramatta will be claiming that the advantage was taken and they get the scrum feed. Yes. Jared Hayne will be stripped of the ball here, holding it very loose out in one arm. Beautiful running display. Loses the ball. Patton picks it up. Goes running back. Hayne's got his head in his hands. He says, oh, here he comes, and gets the ball back.
Parramatta winning the scrum. Inu is with it. Jared Hayne is a bit of a magician, isn't he? Now it's with Chad Robinson. Robinson, Winston Hills Jr. playing the ball a couple of metres on his own side of the halfway. Nathan Hindmarsh comes to a leaping Mark O'Mealy, who smothers him in the tackle. Marsh onto Moi Moi. Moi Moi almost through. Hickey was made to miss badly. It was left to Ryan to clean up. Marsh, the ball is on the ground. Riddell on the boot. El Masri is with the ball, but it's gone forward.
Well, these mistakes are keeping Canterbury in it. And the one thing in favour of the Bulldogs is the scoreboard has not got away from them. Still over a quarter of this game to go. But every time Parramatta get into a good position, a mistake comes out.
Cowboys Warriors tomorrow. That telecast of ours from Townsville starts at 3:30 live. 3:30 live from Dairy Farmer Stadium. Cowboys Warriors tomorrow. The winner will play Manly in the other preliminary final next weekend. And the winner of this will play Melbourne at Telstra Dome next weekend. Played by Willie Tonga, and here is Mark O'Mealy, and the Ogre gets it up towards halfway. Taken by Moi Moi originally. Ian Hindmarsh doing the clean-up, and Corey Hughes passes to Willie Mason. Mason down the middle, 5 metres into Parramatta's area. PJ Marsh front marker, Ian Hindmarsh second marker. Now Cooper Ritzis taken by Robinson. And the play is 35 metres out from the Parramatta line. 13 points to 6, Parramatta leading with Tonga unloading. Ryan putting a kick in. Hayne comes out of the deep, comes to Utai, and Utai puts him away.
Can I say it again? Another disgraceful fifth tackle option by the Bulldogs. They put no pressure on Parramatta with the kicking game on fifth tackle at all.
Good tackle, Tonga. Growth has been in a very aggressive mood, as I said earlier, and then Tonga met aggression with aggression and put Growth down solidly. Marsh on the 30 for Ian Hindmarsh, and he runs into a joint tackle, including Andrew Ryan, who's racking up a lot of tackles here tonight. Cooper Ritzis involved with him that time. Here is Moi Moi, and there goes Hickey bouncing away. Mason eventually cleaning up. PJ Marsh to the right for Brett Finch, who seems to have more time to kick now. The kick not well aimed, though. It went straight to Utai. Utai comes out to the 30-metre line, his own end of the park. Play on the eastern side.
Input of Moi Moi's been tremendous, hasn't he? He's a quality over quantity man. Gets involved 1, maybe 2 every 6. But there's plenty in every time he charges forward. Patton out of dummy half, finds Hickey. Taken front on by Robinson. Low by a couple.
So the big fella, Hickey, plays it, and another big fella. Now that has gone safely out to Utai, who's around them. He gets it away. Was Ryan tackled, not in possession. Ball goes over the touchline, travels forward, and he's going to pack a scrub.
Oh, it's very good work here from PJ Marsh. He tells his players what he wants coming across, and he's the man getting the pats on the head. Fortuitously onto the winger after Willie Tonga couldn't catch it. And watch PJ Marsh in the 14. He will point to Jared Hayne, telling him to take the man with the football. I've got the inside support player, and he did. Andrew Ryan crunched him coming across. Steve Folkes shows his disappointment. Did so on a couple of occasions last week as well when they were in a good attacking position.
Here's Growth, sweeping it across the face of the uprights to Tahu, who's tackled on the 20-metre line. Jared Hayne doing his bootlaces up in back play. Here's Krishnan Inu. He's just inside the touchline, and then he decides I better find the dirt as he's tackled by Mason. Riddell running it away again from the touchline, looking for markers that weren't direct, and he got them again. Oh, Riddell, incredible at finding these markers, not direct, runs at them, looks at the referee, says yes please, and up goes the arm of Hayne.
Well, he's a clever player, Mark Riddell. He's not your prototype forward, but he gets the job done. He's out there now as a running forward with this man PJ Marsh still the dummy half. And again, Moy takes it forward, picks up an easy 12.
He's hurt. That tackle crept up. Hickey's arm crept up. He's going to get up, is he? Because if he stays there, the video referee might play a part in this. But to the credit of Moy, he got up. Hickey's arm, watch it, bang. Across the top. Could have drawn a penalty if he stays down. So here's PJ Marsh across the 20, then Tim Smith and then Mark Riddell. Riddell will play the ball, 12 away from the line, 13-6 Parramatta. Tim Smith kicks, oh Jared Hayne, he's put another kick on it and it's gone dead. Well, the question now is, of course, if he doesn't kick it, what happens? Do they get the bounce? Two of them there, charging down on it.
Can you believe the Bulldogs are still in this?
13-6, I've been thinking about the negatives that we've been talking about, and I'm sure Bulldog supporters will be thinking the same, but they're still only 7 behind.
Well, they're in it on the scoreboard, but in the run of the play, they're a million miles away. I don't know how they're going to produce it over the last 17 minutes, but Parramatta, by the run of play, should be at least 20 in front.
Here's Hickey up the middle with a charge that is met by Ian Hindmarsh, and his pattern to Sherwin to Matua, 25 away from the line. Canterbury, a converted try, and they're within a point. Sherwin on the 20, changes his mind and changes direction, rolls it back towards Inu, and Inu to play the ball 12 away.
Well, you thought he was going to put it in the air that time, didn't you? You dead set thought he was going to kick a bomb.
Here's Tahu.
But no, he found a way not to.
I bet if he had his time over, he would.
Riddell passing for Joel Reddy, and Reddy, slightly built, just inside the 30-metre line. Wearing the jumper, Ben Smith. As Moy makes another run, and PJ Marsh heads to the benches. So Tim Smith drives it down between the wingers, and El Masri is coming outside 20. El Masri going across diagonally, and Ian Hindmarsh is there leading the defence with Mateo. Luke Patton, catch pass to Ben Roberts. Roberts tries to straighten it up and do something. Tackled on the 30-metre line by Reddy. Here goes Patton out from dummy half and a good run. 3 metres from halfway for the Bulldogs. Play back to Roberts, Roberts to Mason. They've got a nice roll going on this set. And Mason will play it 38 metres out from the Parramatta line. Here is Corey Hughes, and getting it away to Sherwin. Sherwin taken, tackle number 5. And Hindmarsh, I thought, was saying a player is injured. He is. Sherwin is injured. It's come back to Matua. He looks, he doesn't know exactly what to do. Now he kicks, and Inu just nonchalantly ambles back and watches it go over the dead ball line.
Well, the kicking has been absolutely deplorable. It is a horror movie to watch the poor fifth tackle options from this Bulldog side. Sherwin limps back to position. But there's no plan there. There's not once have they kicked the ball tonight and competed for it to force an error from the Parramatta side. It's been atrocious.
Mateo playing the ball, Riddell scooping it up to Ian Hindmarsh, who has played so strong in this season. And one asks the question, why retire now? Because I haven't seen Ian Hindmarsh play this well. His last year in football, he can mark it down pretty much as his BEST. As Riddell goes right for Moi, a little bit of the power coming out of his run, but that can be expected. He doesn't hold anything back, does he? He runs with everything. And here's Finch putting a kick down into the corner. It'll fine touch, winding down the clock. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. So to our friends over in England and down through Asia taking the telecast via Satanta, and of course to our networks in New Zealand, wherever you might be watching. It's the first weekend of the all sudden death final. There is no return. An enormous delay in packing the scrum down. You didn't miss anything at all. Here's Millard for Canterbury, 12 metres out from the line. I was just looking at Sonny Bill Williams during the break, passing the football to a mate. Ryan is with it, 22 metres out. Williams back on his seat. Here's Utai running at Nathan Hindmarsh and getting in underneath is Robinson. And Hindmarsh thought he saw a knock on, or did he say that Utai is injured? He's doing a lot of pointing to the officials, Hindmarsh. He tackled Sherwin a minute ago, and I thought then he'd found another injured player. He's playing the part of an ambulance man now, Nathan Hindmarsh. That kick is beautiful. El Masri, it goes forward to Patton.
Oh. Well, it's a very good tackle. Jared Hayne, he had all sorts of problems. The kick was a clever one from Brent Sherwin on this occasion. He has to cover two players here. Hits the arm of Hazem El Masri, and the ball does come out and go forward. Tremendous work from Hayne playing on the wing on that occasion. Williams about to come back into the game.
It's now or never.
Yeah, that's what the good book says. In your most important battle, throw your last man in. They're throwing their last man in. This is the last shot.
50,621, the official crowd. So Parramatta with Tahu going into first receiver, jinking and stepping. 35 metres out from his own line. Played back for Inu, and Inu gains 15 metres with a dummy half scoot. He'll play the ball right on halfway as it comes from Finch and goes to Moi. Moi runs at Corey Hughes and Darryl Millard together with Chris Armott. Now they're down on the Canterbury 40-metre line. That comes from Riddell away to Nathan Hindmarsh. And Hindmarsh is brought down on the 30-metre line. Nathan Hindmarsh playing it back for Riddell. Riddell getting it on to Nathan Kalis, who's come back into the game again. 5 gone against Parramatta. There's a Canterbury player injured in the back play. A stepping Tim Smith. 1, 2, beats 2. Puts in a little kick. Finch is there. Canterbury are there. And it's Ben Roberts with the ball. Roberts for Canterbury in the field of play.
What a take. That was a tremendous take by Utai, the winger. He comes in. Smith, good footwork back through the middle. And Utai off his wing. Roberts was there as well. They look alike. But Utai came up with the grab. It was a beauty.
And Corey Hughes, I think it is, just getting to his feet now. A long way away from the play. He's down for 3 tackles there as Bulldogs now running out of time. Almost 10 minutes to go in this game. They haven't scored for an hour or over an hour. Last tackle, Sherwin. He'll find Hayne on the full. In fact, it's Inu back there.
He didn't have to move.
Inu coming out to the 40-metre line and is put down eventually by Corey Hughes, who's signalled to the bench, I've got to get out of here. Now it's with Mateo. So Matua is back there, Williams is back there, and there's no secret that both of them are injured. And now Corey Hughes has put his hand up as well. Here's Tahu beating the tackle of Matua, so Mason comes in over the top and puts him away. Riddell to the right. For Nathan Kalis, he loses the ball, and it's picked through by Jared Hayne. Shane Hayne is called play up.
Well, Parramatta just can't finish them off. They can't find the knockout blow. Their second half hasn't been much better. A hand in there from Mason, knock on from Kalis, but they're like a cat playing with a half-dead mouse. They won't finish them off. It's torture to watch.
And the safety net for them at this moment is that freakish Brett Finch field goal. 7 points it's a good margin now. 6 would be decidedly shaky.
9.5 minutes to go. Luke Patton to Andrew Ryan. Ryan running over towards Williams, who's going to attack down that left side again. He'll run it towards Joel Reddy.
Parramatta have used all their interchange. You can just see that there now. So what they have out there, they'll be finishing with.
Mason to play it in the centre of the ground. It's swept away by Perry. Called back into the game. Then Sherwin away for Matua. Matua trying to chest his way through. 32 metres out from the Parramatta line. 13 points to 6 in favour of the blue and gold side. Parramatta. Patton, run around Sherwin. Sherwin back, rifling it away to Roberts. And Roberts is up to the 30-metre line. And to ground goes Williams. Tackle was Growth again. Now Andrew Ryan spinning away from a tackle, going back to Sherwin. Sherwin goes high. Inu's underneath that. He's got the ball, Inu. And wrestles with the defenders.
71 minutes, Gus. Up it went.
Finally. Still caught it.
Now Jared Hayne. 20 metres out from his own line. One is playing on the wing, the two is playing at fullback. They were the last time I looked. Robinson's on the 30-metre line.
Yeah, they've been that way for a little while now, as Eric Growth, who's had a superb match tonight.
Get to the way to Joel Reddy. Reddy's running down the right side. Roberts has got him. Oh, that's a great tackle by Ben Roberts. And not his first of the night. We'll take a break and come back in a moment. Desperation stuff by Roberts. Was it Roberts? Or was it Utah? I think it was Roberts. Whoever was a great tackle. We're back live, and we came back without missing a beat. The scrum just fed. Try-saving tackle on Joel Reddy, forcing the scrum. Here's Williams, taken by Mateo, and that was the tackle. I called it as Roberts. It was Utah. Sorry, Matthew, but it was a superb tackle. Ahmed, number 5 for Canterbury. Ahmed is hurt. Gee, there are some people getting wounded for Canterbury. Here's Mason, and the down low goes Riddell. He keeps it going though, and here's Perry working on a second phase to the 40-metre line. Adam Perry. Parramatta piling in defence in numbers. Hindmarsh was the head of the pack. Now Roberts away, knocked on, intercepted by Tamala Tahu. He's away for the prize. Tamala Tahu, 102 tries in this terrific career of his that is winding down rapidly.
102, and it's only at about 140 games. His strike rate superb. Nathan Kalis, the skipper, fist in the air, telling his players to come on. It's been a long time coming, but the knockout blow has arrived. Blue and gold fans, they've got the flags flying. Williams, a brave effort. He's been attempted take, and Tahu, who has been absolutely superb on the left side of the field, very involved, tough to contain, races 60 metres. Matua couldn't take it, bounces up beautifully.
Well, thank God for that. They've finally put him away, and it took a Canterbury pass to put him away. They couldn't find it for themselves, and it was only the poor discipline and poor play from the Bulldogs that brought Tahu in it. Michael Hagan takes his team to the final, one game away from the grand final. But it's a big game. It'll be up against the Melbourne Storm, who have been the best team in the competition all year. That'll be a cracker. When's that? Next Sunday?
Sunday afternoon. Last time they met, narrow victory for Melbourne, and they kept them scoreless second half.
I reckon that would be the match that Michael Hagan would have reaped a fair bit of enjoyment out of. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? You get beaten, but they showed that grittiness that they reproduced against the Warriors last weekend. Parramatta have shown Melbourne that they can trouble them. Here's Inu from right in front to the northern uprights. Little smirk on his face. Loves it.
They can more than trouble them. They can beat them. They can dead set beat Melbourne. That'll be a cracker of a game. I think Melbourne are the best side in the competition, but they took an age to put this one to bed tonight. The Dogs have never been in it.
I'll just let you watch that half-dead mouse being attacked by the cat as I go to Matthew John.
Yeah, what about this man, Tahu? I can't wait for next week. I'd walk to Melbourne to see it. Under the roof at Telstra Dome. Storm versus the Eels, and what a matchup. Tahu up against Israel Folau. What a beauty.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Matthew, because there are some cost-cutting measures, and you actually are walking down next week.
I'd do it, no problem.
Tell you what, there's going to be some big winners coming out of this, and it mightn't be Melbourne or Parramatta, but you'd like to own an airline, wouldn't you? You're going to fill their pockets up, the airlines, the domestics.
I'm here to say I don't think I ever will.
Own an airline?
I don't think I ever will.
You can bet London to a brick, as Ken would have said. Here's Robinson towards the halfway. Parramatta have got it wrapped up at 19-6. And the Canterbury started favourites at $1.75. Parramatta got out to $2.10 at kickoff.
Good kick. Two feet there, driving it over the sideline. The watch is now their friend. It's hard to believe that these two clubs have not met in finals football since 1998. That infamous game, 18-2 minutes to go. 3 late tries. Halligan converts from the sideline, 1 in extra time.
I've never seen anything like that game.
And I sat there and I never had any doubt that Halligan was not going to put that over. You just knew. Too long the wait between these two clubs. Parramatta prevailed this evening.
I'll tell you what the last month shows. It also shows that the Bulldog style of football is now out of date, well and truly. It's no good just running and tackling hard and talking big and trying to intimidate you. You've got to have skill and flair and a plan to your football. You've got to have a smart dummy half, clever halves, speed out wide, a constructive kicking game, and all those things I've said. You go through the Bulldog lineup, they haven't got it, and they've been beaten by sides that do have it. And for all their tenacity and experience and intimidatory tactics, it's meant nothing. They've been beaten by younger, skillful, and faster players.
You talk about they haven't got the flair. I'll leave you with that comment, but to the credit of Michael Hagan, he hasn't attempted to take the flair out of players like the man carrying the ball in Inu, or the number 1 Jared Hayne, or the flair of Tahu. He hasn't tried to take the flair out of anybody. He's just let them do what they naturally want to do. Here's Hayne with the ball now. Hagan, of course, and Folks played in 3 grand finals in the blue and white jumper. Won a couple tonight. Michael Hagan goes on. And Stephen Folks leaves the country.
They'll be happy to leave the country. They'll be happy to pack their bags, jump on a plane and go to where no one knows their name.
I love the way you put it sometimes. You've got some classics.
That's what you feel like doing.
It's not that important, is it? Here is Riddell, tackled on halfway.
He's got them again. That's 8-2, the penalty count, which means the Bulldogs, in their 2 most important games of the year, have lost the penalty count 20-6.
How many of the 8 penalties has Riddell got them?
Well, I reckon he's got 4.
Yeah, because David Middleton told you.
I didn't look at David Middleton.
Parramatta finding the line.
I think
30 metres out from the Canterbury line.
I think it's 4.
You're right. Riddell has got 4 penalties for Parramatta for running from dummy half and finding a marker not direct. And now he smiles as the ball goes over his head and some more time is chewed up. 15 is Cordoba. Riddell back to the blind side to Mateo. Mateo decided I'll have a go myself. Had Tahu with him on the left and Hayne outside Tahu. And so Riddell goes to the middle. Finch, then Tim Smith, back inside Nathan Hayne. Oh, Chris Naninu! He may well be crushed. Mason got him. Inu's okay, he got up smiling, Inu. Now Tahu, he gets it on to Hayne. Oh, the man with magic feet, magic hands, and a wonderful character. Jared Hayne scores off Tamana Tahu, and that's exactly what we just finished talking about, the flair of the modern day athlete in rugby league.
Well, that was poetic. Willie Mason comes up with the typical big defensive play for a Bulldog. He crushes young Inu with a massive hit. Bang! That's the Bulldog way. The kid jumps up with a smile on his face. Out the back line it comes. Decoy run. Tahu. One-handed catch. One-handed put out. That's the modern way to play the game. We're not intimidated by the crash bang wallop. We'll come back at you with speed, skill and flair on the very next play the ball and put you away. That is so poetic and just exactly what we were talking about. Hayne celebrates. Melbourne Storm, they're coming to get you.
Melbourne Storm, they're coming. He's wondering whether the Wallabies might be interested in Tamana Tahu a little bit early. Might be able to use him, do you think?
Yeah, well, what they win the other night, 93-3 or something.
So Inu from the touchline.
That's incredible. That is just so typical of what we've seen here now. The modern game. There's a little smile. I don't know what he smiles about.
Here he is. 23 out. It's going straight. It's going straight. It's there. With the hooter in the background. His strength would have said it's high enough, it's long enough, and it's straight between the posts. Parramatta have defeated Canterbury 25-6 with 4 tries, 4 goals, 1 drop goal. And the Dogs, 1 converted try, which opened the night. Gave the scoreboard attendant his first job of the night. Utai scored. Hasn't converted. But then Parramatta came back, led 12-6. Drop goal Finch took them to 13-6. But they couldn't land the killer blow until Tahu picked up a loose ball, sprinted 70 metres. And then you've seen the finish of the game with Jared Hayne and Tamana again. Beautiful stuff.